In 1855, Maria Anna Bachmann, Barbara Bowl, and Anna Dorn received permission from the Bishop of Philadelphia, John Neumann, to form a new order of Franciscan women to serve the poor. When word of their success in opening schools and hospitals spread, other dioceses asked for sisters, and they traveled to central and western New York City, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Eventually, these groups of sisters became independent congregations. No matter where we ministered, our sisters improved lives and communities, educating children, building and operating hospitals that accepted all patients, caring for children in orphanages, and establishing residences for the elderly, ministering to people with Hansen's disease in Hawaii and Puerto Rico, and serving in Venezuela, the mountains of Peru, and in Kenya. In the mid-1960s, leaders of these congregations began meeting each year to better understand their common roots. Sisters then began meeting and becoming acquainted. They collaborated on missions in New Mexico and created a Franciscans in Action volunteer program. In the late 1990s, talk turned to joining forces to address common challenges. Sisters from the 3 New York congregations created a task force to work out the details so they could unite. It took 5 years of work with a facilitator and canonical lawyer. But on July 11, 2004, the Sisters of St. Francis in Syracuse, Hastings-on-Hudson, and Buffalo, New York, including Franciscan Missionary Sisters of the Divine Child, were finally able to gather in Syracuse and create a new order, the Sisters of St. Francis of the Neumann Communities. 3 years later, we welcomed into the congregation the Sisters of St. Francis of Millvale, Pennsylvania. Between 2009 and 2012, several Whitehall Franciscan sisters transferred into our new congregation. In coming together, we set 4 goals for the new community. Over the past 20 years, we have made great strides in meeting them. We sold large region houses and moved to senior living centers, saving us the expense of building upkeep and maintaining support staff. It also opened opportunities for our Ministry of Franciscan Presence as we include lay residents and staff in our celebrations, liturgies, and prayer services. Proceeds from the property sales support sister care and ministries. The healthcare facilities, daycare centers, and other programs our sisters founded are now under lay management, but we retain ultimate responsibility for our sponsored ministries. So we created partners in Franciscan ministries to represent us and to ensure that our Franciscan values remain integrated into these operations. Nothing could be a greater or more joyous accomplishment than having one of our own canonized a saint. Sister Mary Lawrence Hanley spent 35 years documenting Mother Mary Ann Cope's life and work with people exiled to Molokai, Hawaii, because of Hansen's disease, then known as leprosy. Her dream of sainthood for Mother Mary Ann came to fruition when Mother was declared Saint Mary Ann on October 21, 2012, with many of our sisters, associates, and some patients from Kalapapa in Rome for the service. In July 2014, we opened the St. Mary Ann Cope Shrine and Museum to educate and inspire people worldwide about St. Mary Ann's life and considerable legacy. In the 20 years since the union, merger, and transfers, women professed final vows in our new community. We expect another woman to profess her first vows this year. Our active vocation ministry continues to attract women's interest. In 2019, we opened the House of Discernment in Millvale, Pennsylvania. where women can live while they grow in faith and find support in discerning God's call. We also offer in-person and online prayer services, book discussion groups, religious retreats, and social meet and greets to introduce women to the joys of communal life. Many of our sisters continue in active ministry. We serve in schools, jails, food pantries, and parishes and in healthcare. We are spiritual directors, mental health counselors, immigration attorneys, and state-certified advocates for nursing home residents. We help migrants complete asylum applications, teach English as a second language, and prepare people to take GED exams. We cook and serve meals at soup kitchens and teach basic self-defense to senior citizens. We are artists conducting watercolor classes and musicians accompanying liturgies and sing-alongs for residents in assisted living. We knit hats for babies and inner-city school children and prepare and deliver clothing and supplies to low-income families. We minister to children with disabilities in Peru and people without homes in Washington, D.C. We continue to minister on Kalapapa and support our ministry in Africa. In July 2025, we will gather for our General Chapter, our highest form of governance. Guided by the Holy Spirit, delegates of the chapter discern God's call for our future based on internal and societal concerns. Delegates also elect a new leadership team to move us along the path of our chosen future. We look to the future with the same sense of risk, vision, and faith that made it possible for our sisters to reunite these congregations 20 years ago and bring to life a vision that will continue our mission of being sisters to all.